Well, interest rates are at an all-time low right now. That's great news if you're buying a home or maybe taking out a loan.
Yeah, but how do low interest rates affect baby boomers? Here to talk about it this morning is Omaha's retirement strategist, Darrell Bryant.
Darrell is the president of D. Bryant Retirement Strategies and the host of the Retirement Strategies radio show on 1110 KFAB right here in Omaha. Good to see you, Darrell. How you doing?
Good to see you. Doing great. Great weekend.
Yeah, Sans glasses. We're just looking at that video and you had your specs on.
Yes.
This morning.
Yes.
Without.
He's got them right here.
I got them right here if I need to read something.
Well, let's talk about interest rates, because interest rates, it's good for a lot of folks right now, but if you're a baby boomer, may not necessarily be good for you.
Sure.
Why is that?
Well, sure, interest rates are great when you're borrowing money, right? Buying a car, buying a house, etc. So the younger generation loves that, but as we move into retirement, our primary objective is not necessarily return on our money, but return of our money. So we're always looking for safe harbor. That's what we call it. Safe harbor as we move into retirement, but those safe harbor vehicles currently are just not paying anything. So if you walk into the bank and say, hey, how about a 5-year CD, what are you going to get? 0.8%. So bond yields are actually trading at an all-time low. In fact, they have negative yields. 1/3 of the entire world is issuing, government bonds are issuing at negative yields. In other words, you're paying them to hold on to your money for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So we're in a very, very difficult time. Folks are moving toward bonds. Everybody thinks that bonds, and they're right, bonds have traditionally been the go-to vehicle for safer dollars as opposed to stocks or equities. However, with these low interest rates, our biggest concern is that if you buy a bond right now and it's paying this crummy little rate, corporate bond, government bond, doesn't matter. And then you say, Mike, you know what, I think I want to go out and sell that dude. I'm going to sell that $100,000 bond. And I say, well, what's that thing paying? I'm interested. And you say, well, I'm only paying 2%. And I say, well, I can go ahead and get 4 now.
Right.
So you're going to have to take a little less for that. So it's going to what we call devalue, right?
Yeah.
Or go down in value. So it's a very difficult time. It's not your dad's retirement right now.
So if this low interest environment is affecting bonds and annuities, and we're still looking at these safer options, if you're nearing retirement, what can you do to reconcile all of that?
That's a good question. Here's the problem. If you're a viewer out there right now and you're thinking about bonds, or you're looking at your portfolio, and you think, well, gee whiz, you know, my guy has me in 50% bonds, I'm nearing retirement, et cetera. The most common thing we see right now when we do an analysis is it's really an x-ray of all of your positions and the risk associated, et cetera. What we find is these investment advisors have taken their clients either to equities, trying to get some kind of rate of return out of the deal, or if they do have a lot of bonds, we find that 50% or more of those bond positions are what we call junk bonds or high yield bonds, right? I call them trash bonds, right? In other words, they have a high probability of default. So you have yourself a big problem right now. What can a person do? We need to move toward more active management. Right now with our portfolios, for example, we're not buying any long-term bonds because we know we're going to get beat up. You're just asking for trouble, and you will, it's my opinion, you will lose money if you're owning long-term bonds right now. So we're only buying bonds, short-term bonds, buying on a spike and then selling right away. So this is the most difficult time in 30 years in this industry for safe money management that I've experienced. So you really need active management, Mike, and then if we can have asset lock protecting our downside, that is paramount right now. So we know we're not going to lose our rear.
Asset lock. Remind us what asset lock is again, because it's basically a notification system when things change.
Yeah. So we do a pretty darn good job, I think, at managing money. But here's the thing: we don't control the market. And if you say, Darrell, I can't stand the thought of losing more than 5% or 7.5% or 10% at this stage in the game because you're getting, I know you're a long way from retiring. But hey, I can't stand the thought of more than a 7.5% return or decline. Asset lock is 24/7 monitoring of that. So as your account is moving up, you know you're never going to go below 10% of that. So it is a protective device and brings a lot of stress relief, to our clientele.
It goes back to the Safety First Foundation, which
Safety
is
first.
It's what you do. And we have this. If you still have questions about whether your portfolio is structured to withstand low interest rates, give Darrell's office a call for a complete portfolio review. He set aside 10 slots for our viewers who call in and qualify right now.
Yeah, the number to call is 402-932-2141. And it's not just questions about interest rates. So if you have a retirement question in general for Darrell, you can email him at questions@omahasretirementstrategist.com, and we may get to that answer for your question right here on the Morning Blend.
That's right. Let's show you the number again, because I feel like for our viewers to be able to come in and have a personal review with you and your team, it's a tremendous opportunity, but again, it's limited to the first 10 people who call and qualify. It's 402-932-2141. Next Monday, Omaha's retirement strategist is back to talk about your parents' retirements and how you can learn a thing or two from them. Yes? They do know stuff, guys.
They're still teaching you lessons.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that conversation. Darrell, thanks for your time today.
Good to see
Have a good
you.
week. All right, it's the middle of August, and life without AC in the car can be pretty miserable.
Oh, that leaves one of our viewers with a dilemma. We'll see if Certified Transmissions' Amanda Fink can help when the Morning Blend continues.